Hello and welcome to Penang Roadshow to India 2021, a preview, the virtual forum organized by Penang Convention and Exhibition Bureau, PCEB, powered by Tin Media. So PCEB is organizing Penang Roadshow to India 2021 virtual B2B, and it's all set to happen from 18th of January 2021 onwards in 4 cities covering all the 4 zones right up to 25th of January 2021, targeting all across Indian market. My name is Prashant Chandra. I'm the moderator for this session. A very good evening, a good afternoon to everyone here in Malaysia, India, all across the world who are watching from. So we have more people joining the stream. Warm welcome to everyone. So today we are talking about the opportunities lies in the world of one of the world's biggest travel market, which is the Indian market. So today's topic is the Indian market readiness and the post-COVID trends. So before that, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching online, please type down which city you are watching from, right? And don't forget to share this live feed on your WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, so that more of your friends and all of us can join in and understand what we are trying to discuss here. So let's start with a message from the CEO of Penang Convention and Exhibition Bureau, PCEB, Mr. Ashwin Gunasekaran.
Greetings from Penang Convention and Exhibition Bureau. I'm Ashwin Gunasekaran, the CEO of the Bureau. Welcome to the Penang Roadshow to India 2021 preview. As we wrap up 2020 and forge ahead for 2021, it is indeed a bitter pill to swallow, knowing that we will not be carrying out our annual Penang Roadshow to India in the traditional sense, where we get to meet all of you in person and share the latest developments and offerings from Penang, specially tailored to the Indian market. The 2021 Roadshow should be our 4th annual show, which we run across 4 selected cities covering each region of India. However, this pandemic has also shown us that Penang is indeed blessed with resources and talents to run the roadshow fully virtual, which is what we are doing for 2021. While we may not be able to bring Penang to you personally in January 2021, we will bring you to Penang virtually through our own homegrown virtual B2B platform. Travel industry partners. India has been an important and growing market for Penang in the past few years, before COVID-19 brought international travel to a grinding halt. The Indian travel market was our top 5 market for both leisure as well as business events. For the past 2 years, it was recorded that India has been the top 5 market for business events Penang. In 2019, 4% of business events of Asia-Pacific origin was from India, contributing approximately $65.89 million in estimated economic impact. Penang has been a choice travel destination for Indian travelers in the recent years. In 2019, the Penang Immigration Department reported a total of 61,847 Indian travelers who visited both via the airport and seaport, compared to 43,537 travelers for year 2018. There is a steady market growth for Penang in India, and PCEB has been increasing its initiatives for this growth, not just for business events, but also making Penang a leisure, family-friendly, and a romantic honeymoon destination. We believe that Penang's new offerings in terms of services and products, as well as commitment made to ensuring the destination is safe for post-COVID-19 traveling, will be what Indian travelers want in this new era. Penang players have invested in developing new experiential products that bring you closer to nature to allow you to distress and heal body and soul. We have exciting modern tours to allow you to experience our UNESCO World Heritage Site of Georgetown in ways never before. We have food experiences that even the fussiest gourmand would be satisfied with numerous fine dining restaurants and bars opening to cater to even strict vegetarians and vegans. Our network and internet infrastructure has been upgraded. And now you can conduct hybrid events, be it corporate or even weddings, right from Penang and have it streamed globally on stable online platforms developed here in Penang. Dear friends, as PCEB continues to market Penang in India for this 4th year, I would like to personally urge you, both buyers and sellers, to register yourselves for the Roadshow and join us in this collaborative effort to showcase Penang and its wonderful offerings. Best of all, you can do it right from your desk. Till then, I look forward to meeting you in January. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ashwin, for your message. Those who have just joined, very warm welcome. I think a lot of people are joining in. I can see a lot of new faces. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. All right, so we heard the CEO himself and his aspiration to develop such a lucrative market like India. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick look at the last Penang Roadshow to India, which happened this year, 2020 January, and it was happened again in 4 cities in India, precisely like Mumbai, New Delhi, Chennai and Cochin. So let's have a look at how the event was well received in Indian market by our industry partners here.
The 3rd edition of the Penang Roadshow to India 2020 was a huge success. It was a watermark moment that would not have happened without a huge footfall and interest of industry professionals to know more about the destination. The roadshow received wonderful feedback for an incredible number of engagements and interaction counts. This year, all the 4 cities have smashed success at all levels. The roadshow was supported by a Penang delegation of 14 partners, including hotels, destination management companies, wedding planners, convention centers, professional conference organizers, and event experts. More than 1,300 travel agents, tour and MICE operators, event and wedding planners had registered for the event as buyers for the entire 4-city roadshow for the B2B session. Specially invited top-notch travel trade associations like Travel Agents Association of India, Network of Indian MICE Agents, Travel Agents Federation of India, and prominent people from the film tourism industry also marked their presence. A total of 100 media representatives attended a press conference across the 4 cities. A total of 53 travel professionals attended the Penang Specialist Program, which provided first-hand knowledge of Penang through a full-day workshop across Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai and Cochin. More than 600 CEOs, decision-makers, top management of MICE companies, event managers, production companies and tourism agents also were registered for the gala dinner for the entire 4-city roadshow to India. Good attendance in the film industry was evident with the presence of popular producers and directors and well-known faces from the southern film and television industry.
After we initiated this show in India for 3 years, we see that there's a growth for Indian travelers to Penang. So we believe that with the continuing of this show, we can foresee to capture more tourists from India to Penang. This is our goals. We believe that also our target is to at least 10% increment by the Indian travelers to Penang.
It's about the time that the Indians should also venture into the Southeast Asian market, as always been done over the thousands of years. And if we look at the history for the 2000 years from the time immemorial, especially during the Cholas rule, India and Malaysia, in particular Penang and Kedah, shared a very special relationship. I think it's about the time that we venture into that relationship again and become close trade partners again.
All right, thank you so much. I think how amazing to see those videos, especially now we can't do events, right? All right, so guys, so Penang has been actually doing physical road shows into India since the past 3 years, and I think it's been very encouraging to see how enthusiastic our local sellers and the Indian buyers, and I'm sure the market is going to bounce back quite soon, as it looks like we are moving towards the end of the pandemic. Let's hope so, and the borders are slowly start opening, and then we can see we still have that hope that everything will be getting back to normal for our industry. So the enthusiasm of our local partners and sellers from Penang, Malaysia, it's very commendable. I mean, I would like to show you a video, a feedback sort of video. This is from Mr. Fauzi from the Equatorial Hotel, Penang, talking about his experience in the previous roadshow. It's a short video. Let's have a look.
Penang Roadshow to India has been organized by Penang Convention and Exhibition Bureau for over 3 years. And we would like to know, how do you describe the importance of India market in Penang?
India is a home of 1.3 billion citizens and world-known companies. In 2019, almost 27 million Indian nationals departed outbounds, travel from India, as compared 5 years before, only 18 millions. I believe this is the results of the positive economic growth of India right now. Therefore, Penang that have very unique products, leisure, as well as business destinations should not miss to grab these opportunities, promoting Penang continuously. We have been there for the past 3 years. So we know quite a bit of industry players over there. Unfortunately, COVID has stopped us from visiting India again in 2021. However, thank you, PCEB, for organizing this virtual event, so we still can be connected. I wish I can meet up with the old colleagues as well as the new ones during these virtual events.
All right. Thank you, Fauzi, for that feedback. So amazing. I mean, we all are looking forward for this virtual B2B show this year. I think it's a right opportunity for all the product owners to test and trial their product in a massive market like India. So earlier, it might be it's not so easy to go down to India and market your products, and so it would have been a physical show. So as if like you were to participate in a physical road show, it would be like a different cost on how you have to go down and meet people face to face. I think it's amazing opportunity for all of us to actually bring all of those buyers right on your desktop through this virtual B2B show. So you can talk and discuss the same thing with them, face to face, nearly a real life experience kind of thing using this technology. So I'm pretty sure that as per the new phase of our industry, it is very important to go global. We need to make sure that we are global market ready, using technologies and everything, so that we have bigger opportunities and better chances to stay afloat. So this virtual B2B platform, which can produce almost real life face-to-face experiences, it also has a networking launch, and it makes it fun to attend such online events. So let's start our panel discussion with the experts we have today to understand how is Indian market coping up with the current COVID situation, and what is a useful, what are the updates they are sharing right from India. So we have a very interesting set of panelists with us here. It's my pleasure to introduce them to you. Let's start with, let me add them onto the screen. All right, so let me start with, so we have Mr. Jagdeep Bhagat, sorry. He is the founder, member, and the national coordinator for a network of MICE agents called NEMA. All right. I think Mr. Ganesh is somewhere on the way. All right. So we have Jagdeep Bhagat, and we have, he is also the past president of Northern Region IATA Agents Association of India called IAAI, and he's in the industry for more than 2 decades. We can expect a lot of updates from the Indian business events industry from him. The second speaker we have is Mr. Ganesh Ramak. He's the Vice President of Destination Explore Malaysia. He is, I hope, Mr. Ganesh, you are comfortable to discuss. Are you somewhere on the way? Do you need some more time to go somewhere and settle down, or? I think you can take your time to, we can, no worries, we can, once you are settled somewhere, we will ask you questions, so no problem. Concentrate on your driving, right? All right, so we have Mr. Ganesh, as you have seen, he is rushing towards to sit somewhere in front of a laptop so that he can talk to all of us. So the third speaker we have is a very dynamic young man from India, the southern part of India. His name is Sriharan Balan. He's the chairman in the tourism subcommittee of Travel Agent Association of India Southern Region. He's also the deputy managing director of Madura Travel Services Private Limited. So he has also been a part of the advisory committee of Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the discussion going. So I would like to start with Jagdeep. Tell us a bit about the situation in the Indian market from the MICE perspective, Jagdeep.
Good afternoon, all. Prashant, the question is that Indian market is no different from the global market as on date, because everyone is dependent on so many external factors. But if you ask the preparedness of the Indian market is very optimistic. They are just waiting for borders to open and the system in place. System means the SOPs, because now health concern is supreme for each and every traveler, whether it is MICE, incentive traveler, an event industry, or leisure traveler. So as and when those things are clear, I think we are ready to move on. In Indian market, Indian operators are all set to work on and just waiting for the right time. Like the whole world, we are also waiting, keeping fingers crossed, hoping for the best.
Rightly said, Jagdeep. I think every one of us are waiting. Right, let's get into more discussion. So, Hari, Sriharan, I would like to ask you, tell us a bit about the situation from your region in India, Sriharan.
That's a very nice question when you say your region, because India is, I consider India like a European continent. Every state is very different, and that was very much visible when the lockdown started opening up, when they started relaxing the rules, because we saw a very conservative kind of a response from Tamil Nadu, whereas regions like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka started traveling much more earlier. Immediately, to be very frank, immediately after the borders were open, they started traveling, whereas Tamil Nadu, they took their own time. But I would say right now, there are a good number of travelers from our region. Basically, they're looking forward to it, and plus a lot of people missed. For us, we are coming from the hottest region of India, so usually our summers are the main plan. So I think people started planning for the summers already. In fact, for events or incentives, a lot of planning has been put into place for April, May. So I think it's very positive to see right now, Prashant.
All right, thank you. Thanks for that feedback, Sriharan. Okay, Ganesh, are you comfortable? We can ask you some. So, as a tour operator, from Malaysia, I think you need to unmute. Yeah. So, as a tour operator from Malaysia, how important is Indian market to you, Ganesh? Can you unmute, Ganesh? I think you are muted. Yeah.
Okay now? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yes, yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear, yeah. Can you?
Okay. Hello? Okay. Malaysia, like what Ashwin had mentioned, it's not only for Penang but also for Malaysia.
I think we can't. Can you activate? Can you activate your camera? I think it's yeah. Now we can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Sure. So, yeah, Malaysia. I mean, India is an important fifth important market for Malaysia. So in 2018, around 680 lakhs people from India actually travel to Malaysia. Right? So it's for Destination Explore as one of the player in the market. It constitutes around almost like 40% of our business. But unfortunately, we expected the further growth in 2020. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic and all that, it has not been realized. So we are hoping and confident that India will come back in a big bang in 2021 once the border is open. Because I think more people are eager to travel to this part of the world. So definitely Malaysia is one of the destinations to be benefited, and particularly Penang, because the cruise industry, as Penang is a cruise hub, will definitely benefit. What I understand recently from Costa, they're going to position one of the latest ship which they unveiled yesterday to base in Penang as a home port for 1 full year. Right? So definitely that will actually benefit Penang in particular and Malaysia as a whole as a destination. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ganesh. I think that thanks for the update. So guys, whoever who have just joined, and if you have any questions you need me to ask the panelists, please write it down on the comment section so that we have some time after the discussion we can ask them these questions, right? Okay, so Jagdeep, I want to ask you, like, how much outbound mice ready is Indian market? Let's talk about having events overseas, and what do you see? How is the wave now?
Bigger events, Prashant, to be honest, it will take some time. But incentive travel, we are almost ready. We are almost ready in the sense that what I'm saying, the border conditions, the availability of flights, and that health issues. So if health issues are addressed, we do have flights and all. So Southeast Asian region is just like domestic flights. 3-4 hours flights usually considered as domestic flights, because as Mr. Balan was saying, like if we are traveling from North India to South India, it's 3 hours flight, 3.5 hours flight if you go down under. So that is the kind of flight timing which we are looking at when we travel to Southeast Asian region and all provided. So we are ready. Even corporate inquiries have started pouring in. They are also inquiring about how soon things are turning. But like as I said earlier, we are uncertain about how government policies are being implemented, how borders are being opened, and we are in touch with our stakeholders. The other stakeholders in my center, we are in touch with hoteliers in the region, with the other DNCs, receptive operators in the region. So everyone is ready. The only idea is when it starts rolling, then only we'll come to know how fast we can run.
Right. Rightly said. It's. I think we are in the verge of getting ready. To travel. So I like to ask Srihar, how is your response on this from your region? What do you think from your corporates and the event planners? What is the response you're getting?
Yeah, definitely, Prashant. Malaysia is always on the charts of mice because it's only a 3 hour 50-minute flight from Chennai. So when you take up a foreign international destination for mice, obviously Malaysia is always on board, and because of the cost factor and all, people tend to choose Malaysia. As of now, we've been getting queries. Still, people ask us when does the border open. Unfortunately, we are not in a place to answer because we ourselves haven't got a clear instruction on when borders are going to open. We've been discussing closely with the tourism board, Malaysian tourism board. They've kept us positive about a lot of information that's happening, a lot of events that's happening, which we are educating our corporates, our passengers, which is fine and good. But unless and until the borders open, or the date of opening of borders or visa formalities are out, till then I think this skepticism of pushing mice will be there. we have to get the idea of when the borders are going to open for that. So I think after that, I think there will definitely be a lot of push, because we could see that with destinations like Maldives, with destinations like Dubai, there are a lot of movement. In fact, on the 19th of December, a couple of days back, Maldives saw a single day arrival of 4,500 passengers. They've crossed their mark of 100,000 passengers. They're doing really well. In fact, one instance that I have to tell you in the last 2 days, what we had is because of the recent strain and the news from that, there are states in India that has cancelled the New Year party. Immediately, we started getting queries for Maldives, for Dubai, for New Year's. So it's not like people will not travel. People wish to travel when things are on place, when things are on order, without any issues. So I think that will make a lot of difference.
All right. Thank you so much, Sriharan. I think people are willing to travel, and then they are constantly looking for places which they can safely travel. Rightly said. So I would like to ask Ganesh on he is somebody who's participated in the previous Penang Roadshow to India, and can you share a bit of your experience while you were on the last roadshow, Ganesh, about Indian market?
Yeah, I did participated way back in the previous roadshow in 2018, which covers Chennai, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and Delhi. So, in my opinion, it was very professionally organized, and in terms of selection of buyers, is very high quality buyers was invited. So it actually created opportunity for our local sellers, especially DMCs and the product owners, to showcase their services, products, and all that. I think after that, in fact, we have a lot of new leads, and in fact, we did quite a number of big businesses from that. So overall, I'm quite satisfied the way Penang have done and showcase Penang as specifically as a whole Malaysia. So it's created a very positive vibe for Indian buyers to seriously look into Penang as a main, especially main destination. So that's my take.
All right, thank you.
On this, how Penang have actually organized and my experience participating.
All right. Thank you, Ganesh, for that feedback. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always nice to hear when you have business right after a roadshow. I think we are probably going towards that kind of a market very soon. So I like to ask Jagdeep, what are the current trends going on in Indian market in terms of MICE business events?
See, trends, Prashant. Everyone is looking forward. Trends are, people are ready, as I told you. They are inquiring, they are building plans. We are already submitting RFPs to the destinations to this, and we are submitting bids to the corporates as well. So we are looking ahead to good productive 2021. Though numbers are not that big, which we had been doing in past, but as far as trend is saying that people are willing, they are looking for the options, opportunities, and that is what. And the only setback which we feel is that long haul sectors will take some time, but short haul destinations, the regions which we are comfortable with, as well in terms of flights, as Mr. Balan said about that, the costing part is crucial these days because all corporates, they do have tight budgets for at least next couple of years, so they will try to put focus on short haul destinations where flights are cheaper, hotels are like Maldives. He was telling Maldives took the lead as we were discussing backstage. Whosoever takes the lead in opening things with the right protocols, that destination will have an edge. So we are pitching. Industry is open. Corporates are willing to make their incentive movement as soon as possible. So very few of the corporates which we had been dealing or our members have given us the feedback that they are reluctant. They are saying okay, we will not travel. Everyone is saying they will be traveling, but everyone is keeping their fingers crossed, just waiting for the right time. But they have the good part is for last couple of months they have started taking those bids. So now at least they are working on some sort. So at least those quotations, those proposals, those budget allocations, that part is going on. So that is a positive sign, because if they are budgeting, they are putting those budgets aside for their travel, for incentive programs, and also that means it will open on soon, provided all other things
Right.
remain positive. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the update, Jagdeep. I think I rightly said. There are certain surveys carried out in Indian among the Indian travelers. It shows that they really looking forward for short haul travel up to 4 hours sort of traveling time. I think Malaysia pretty much fit into that sort of a travel time, 4 to 5 hours. So I think we have all the chance to get the first batch. When they go out of India, I'm sure they will be considering towards Malaysia, because even from the south it's shorter when you travel, and the frequency is much better from the southern part of India. All right, so Sriharan, I would like to ask you, like, what kind of trend you are seeing in your region?
More than trend, what we are doing is we are trying to educate it and change the trend, because initially when the pandemic broke and people were, it was total chaos. People didn't understand what this is, how is this spreading, and people were very scared. And slowly they started changing. They started adapting to it, and this is what we are trying to inform corporates also, because now I would say it's a great advantage for MICE movement. A lot of people, I don't know how many people would agree, but I'll tell you this is the reason why it's a great advantage, because every corporate is working from home. 98% of the corporate companies have issued work from home. Only 2% are coming to the office and working. Now they need a chance to meet. They need a chance for a convention. They need a chance for a conference. And people working from home is people working from different parts of the globe, different parts of India now. So right now, if a company wants to have a convention or a conference with their employees, I think they would definitely take a chance to go abroad, create an event which creates so much of positivity, which creates so much of team building activities. I think this is an opportunity that all operators have to look into it, because unless and until we inform them what the trends are, they will still believe saying nothing is open, it is very difficult to travel, things can't go across. So I think it's up to the tour operators to inform all these, and it's a greater opportunity, which I think we've been informing a lot of corporates, and locally we've been able to convince them to create all these conferences for their employees, which has indeed created a lot of positivities among their employees or their distributors. Anything, I think the trend is really good, Prashant, that what we could see in what we could predict also.
Fantastic. I think a lot of positivity there. I think what you mentioned is the right point. I think as Malaysia being the most affordable among its neighbors, I think we have a big chance of pulling those corporate meetings into Malaysia. That's a fantastic trend. Especially, I'm sure you are telling this from the perspective of your own association's feedback and all that thing, right? So it's very legit and amazing. So let me. Go back to Ganesh. Are you there, Ganesh? Are you connected? I think he's still fixing. All right. So let me. Meantime, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. All right. So Ganesh, I'd like to ask you. Right. There are a lot of travel partners from India who are watching. Yeah, who are watching us. All right. So how are we making sure that the travelers will be safe when they arrive in Malaysia? So can you give them a lot of local updates on what is happening in here, so that yeah.
Okay. Basically, what the industry have done so far, there's few phases. So the phase one, the local service provider actually came out with the SOPs on the health and safety aspect of it. So later, the local association, like one of the leading association is Malaysian Association of Tours and Travel Agents, actually recently partnered with the Bureau de Veritas, the Belgian world leader in testing, inspection, and certification of safety protocols under the term of Travel Safe Malaysia, Hygiene Excellent and Safety Label. So, Mata, through with this collaboration, our local agents will be certified according to on this. So whoever have certified on this, carrying this certification, it actually complies to the safety standard of the SOP set by the this collaboration. So they will do the auditing part of it. So on top of that, Malaysian Hotel Association also doing their own certification through this partnership as well, under same branding as Travel Safe Malaysia. So whoever is carrying this label, they are considered following all these the health and safety protocols. So to make clients feel safe and confident in traveling into Malaysia, as well as the local attractions also implementing their own SOPs, sanitizations, and all in place, so that nobody is affected by this COVID-19 viruses. So it's pretty safe to travel. Actually, to be honest, the local players are ready to welcome guests from overseas, particularly from India. However, our Malaysian government is a bit cautious, so they are actually looking into various aspects before they fully open the borders. So that part, we're just basically waiting for the Malaysian government to open. The good news is they're already opening up in stages. In fact, today also they announced that some of the local attractions are open, and they allow meeting MICE activities to start. So that's a good news and positive news coming from the government side. So they're basically confident that we can able to manage this virus effectively. And so with all this in place, it's pretty safe, and we look forward Indian travelers to come into Malaysia when the border is open.
All right, thank you so much, Ganesh, for that sharing. I think, I think it's really good to actually get updated on what are the SOPs and what are the things happening from the local point of view, because an operator in India, this is the most realistic information, one-to-one, because when he handles the customer there, he will exactly know that his partners in Malaysia, what are they up to and all that. So it is pretty easy when it comes to the whole ecosystem. So let me ask Jagdeep, I'm sure that you have been doing events in Penang, and you have been traveled to Penang a couple of times. So, what is a destination like Penang? What is that edge you have in terms of business events? If somebody who takes decision to travel to decide a destination, probably in Southeast Asia. What is that you find even when we last met, you even had plans to bring your own association events into Penang. So I like to know, what is your idea about Penang as a destination, Jagdeep?
See, the best part is that most of the credit goes to Ashwin, who has been pushing hard worldwide for Penang and all. See, the first aspect in selecting a destination is that the destination should be welcoming. So Penang is welcoming. So one, that is the most important factor, that the destination, if they are willing to welcome their guests, events, incentive, or whatever it is. So that saves your stress, because you know that destination knows what a guest means to that destination. So Penang has an edge on that. They had been promoting and they had been aligning last 3-4 years since we are in touch with PCEB and all those things. I think with every day they are evolving, they are adapting to all those requirements which Indian traveler or Indian corporates are looking into it. You are adopting, you are providing those kind of venues, you are aligning those resources, those facilities which suits to Indian traveler, because the Indian traveler is slightly different from your European counterparts and all those things. So we do have cuisine as one of the reason, one of the important factors. So if you are arranging, you are making sure that your local operators are also gearing up. You are educating your local operators to work on these things. So that's how it works. So that is the edge why I feel that PCEB is good in the region. And that is why we are hoping that once it opens, PCEB will outshow. And if I'll not be wrong in saying that thing, though Malaysian tourism people may not like it. PCEB is performing far better than Malaysian tourism as a whole in terms of promoting the destination. So, but it's a challenge. Like Malaysian tourism also needs to be aggressive as PCEB so that the whole country gets benefit, because only Penang gets share only for Penang. But when Malaysian tourism also gets into that full throttle mode, the whole country benefits.
Rightly said, Jagdeep. I think it's a collective effort. Everybody is putting their best. So let me ask Sriharan. From your association, Thai, what are the steps taken to help rebound or cope up with the challenges, Sriharan? If you can share a bit on that.
Yes, definitely. From the beginning of the pandemic, since the pandemic, there was a lot of confusions in terms of refunds and everything, in terms of issues, everything. I think our president, Mrs. Jyoti Mayal, has been very proactive. She's been very proactive in helping all the agents. And since then, we didn't keep, the first industry that got affected was the tourism industry. But still, the association started doing a lot of educational programs, started helping a lot of agents in that case. And now, I should say recently we had been invited by the Tourism Malaysia Chennai office for a luncheon get together. I think Malaysian tourism was very kind enough to invite all of us, to keep us all in a positive phase, telling that things are opening up fast, because that is what is required as of now. Because most of the travel agents are on the negative phase. It's little to know that. But I think it's just a little more push that we all need, that we are almost at the end of this. And we are hearing little rumors about the new things and everything. I think it's all normal. People are adapted. Already they're adapted to all these things. I think the association has been doing great initiatives for agents, educating agents in terms of tourism promotion with a lot of tourism bodies, exclusively with the Malaysian tourism.
Right. Thank you, Srihan, for that sharing. I think rightly said. Yes, even Tourism Malaysia is putting a lot of good efforts in the market. The India market is so big, and we have been actually. You can see the consistent growth.
To be more specific, I think we are very lucky to have amazing officers in the southern region. Mr. Razaidi is there, Mr. Logidasan is there, and Kavita, the local marketing head, because they've been very proactive constantly with all the agents. I think it's a very collective effort in order to bring back the glory of traveling.
Right, rightly said. Absolutely. I think we can see all that from the numbers we produce to Malaysia. Fantastic. I would like to ask you, Sriharan, if you add to my previous question, like why Penang? I'm sure that you have done plenty of business to Penang. What is that you think Indian travelers will select Penang when they want to have an event or even a leisure trip? What is that you think that is easy for you to sell Penang in your market?
First of all, I'll tell you usually why we choose Penang is it's not very crowded. It's an offbeat destination already. It's popular, but still it's better when we try to give another option. When people think of Malaysia, it's only Kuala Lumpur when it comes to MICE. So we started giving suggestions of Penang, and that was the first reason. And second, I think the Penang Convention Bureau is very proactive, as rightly said by my colleague Jagdeep sir. I think that welcoming factor has to be there. Unless and until we as agents have that confidence that a government is welcoming us, a government is requesting us to do an event, I think that confidence is very, very important. I think Penang is very rightly doing it. And now, after the pandemic, what I could see domestically, I will tell you, even domestic destinations, why Maldives is getting more queries is because people want to avoid the metropolitan high traffic city. In that case, Penang is an amazing option immediately. When things open up, I think more than KL, Penang would receive much more bigger queries in terms of, the only thing is the connectivity has to be properly done. Already we have good connectivity. With AirAsia, we have a very short transit. We could connect Penang immediately. So all these things are going to play a major factor, and being an offbeat destination, and Penang as a destination, it's a beautiful destination of its own. It's got beaches, it's got mountains, it's got culture, it's got modern, it's got everything. And in this kind of a destination is super perfect for any MICE event, I think. So I think these are the factors that we would immediately take into account for choosing Penang as a destination.
I think you sold Penang perfectly. I'm sure all of this, Penang, they will be very happy to hear that. So fantastic. All right, so let me ask Ganesh, tell us a bit on the trend, current trend going in the local market. Like what sort of movement is going on? What is the inquiries? Are you receiving any sort of inquiry? Any sort of, what is your relationship with the suppliers? What kind of communication is going on here, Ganesh?
Okay. Traditionally, domestic market is relatively small in comparison to India, actually, and being the country is a bit small, and it's any part of the country you can actually travel within 2 to 3 hours, except for Borneo, okay? So where you require to take a flight. So as such, the domestic market traditionally about 60 to 70% will travel on their own. So they only go to a travel agent for a destination that require full service, including flights, accommodations, and other meals. Where they cannot find meals relatively easy. Example like national parks, Borneo, the island, Sabah and Sarawak. The destinations are there's a limited things they can do directly. So as such, the local tour operators, especially the one who are focusing on inbound, relatively have a small local database to market their products. Although we have superior products with us, but we have to sell through local travel agents who have the database. But I've said that we also have managed to create some new customers through our efforts promoting domestically. So most of our local inbound operators are focusing on family travel, because traditional Malaysians travel with family. When the schools are shut down for last couple of months, in fact, the whole year. So they travel in a family. So they buy the packages with us, and then they travel on their own. Majority of them drive, because our road network also is quite good and quite world standard actually. So basically, you can actually split into two. One is they travel on their own. Another one they use a travel agent. Unfortunately, in terms of percentage, the one who not travel on their own without the travel agent assistance are more. I would say about 60 to 70%. But with the small numbers, we're still managing it. It's a new segment for us. And I think post-COVID, this will be also another area for inbound operators to focus on. So that's a new norm of doing things in Malaysia.
Rightly said. Absolutely rightly said, Ganesh. I think tour operators specifically, they become more creative with this pandemic. Like they have been. They never. I don't think if there is no pandemic, they would never thought of this level on creating various products and things like that. Here, they're still finding something coming in from the domestic product. So that's a fantastic thing, which can. It's a gift from the pandemic, we can say. So if I ask Jagdeep, from your association's perspective, what are the steps taken to help the industry rebound, or what is it happening there in your association perspective, Jagdeep? Yeah.
In terms of our association, from day one, from April onwards, what we have been convincing our members that the times have changed, new methodology, new normal, everyone is saying, and everyone is affected. So what we had been guiding them, mentoring them on these fronts, that try to consolidate on whatever resources you have, try to sustain yourself for next couple of years at least. Whether you need to cut down on your expenses, whether you need to move on to a smaller office or anything of that sort, whatever you need to preserve your resources, preserve it. And looking forward, you should be now much more open for collaborations. Earlier, what all of us we were trying that whatever is possible, let's do on our own. We were opening up our branches, we were spreading our wings and everywhere. So now what we had been advising them, okay, growth everyone wants, but during these hard times, it is better that we collaborate and utilize each other's services so that everyone grows. everyone in the industry has been affected badly by this pandemic, whether small or big alike. Well, it's not like that the smaller agents are suffering more, biggers are not suffering. Biggers do have more fixed costs than the smaller one. So the key to survive or flourish in future is that we utilize our resources to maximum, collaborate with each other, try to help each other, put some plans on shelves for some time, because not every plans which we had been making for years will really be fruitful or that smooth in coming times. So that is the only thing we had been advising them. Take your time to decide, but walk slowly. This is not the time to run. And don't be in full throttle mode immediately, because whatever is left, as I told you, there are so many external factors which will be governing our performances. Each and every operator is subject to currently 90% of the external factors are governing the business model. So we have to wait and watch, we have to see. So win the race, but run slow. That is our idea. That is what had been we had been telling, and our members are happy from day one. We never forced them onto so many webinar series or so many educational series and all those things, because we knew it was too early. See, talking about a destination in June, July, or August, it was too early for us to know whether that destination is really. Nobody in the region ever thought that Maldives will open up fast and they'll be performing so well. That is another part, that they are offering almost 50% off on the regular pricing and all. So that is their way. Their Maldives decided to compromise upon, and people started feeling the value, and they started traveling. So our advice to our members, our hand-holding process all these months with our members is all our executive team were busy talking to most of the members in person. They were calling each and every member, talking to them, discussing the future plans, guiding them, mentoring them, whatever best can be adopted. And that is the way which we followed. And we had a very small, as you know, we are very selective in our members. So our member base is hardly 160 pan India. We are not dealing with 1,000 members or 2,000 members, because from day one our philosophy is very clear. We don't want to boost on key. We have got 1,000 members or 2,000 members. We know what kind of members we do have, and we want them that they should be of value. So we are always member centric. Our members are more or less satisfied, and everyone is still in the business. They are very positive in their approach and in thoughts, and everyone is waiting to bounce. They have started working, they have started getting queries and all those things once the world has opened up. So I feel that we were able to do whatever little bit as an association we can do to motivate or to keep them motivated throughout this time. That's how we.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you for that sharing, Jagdeep. I think rightly said. It's more of a quality than quantity in terms of if you say for membership. So, Sriharan, I would like to ask you, what are the things you are doing in your organization in terms of your movement, or in terms of innovation, or what is that you are doing good that others can learn from? So because we have a bunch of travel operators and from both the countries are watching, so if they can, any key takeaways from from your daily activities.
Yeah, see, first of all, I would say that I decided one thing, that we will survive. That was one word that I put into our head, that we will survive at any point, because for the world only, it was basically for all Indians, it was March. But we in the travel industry, we knew it was in Jan itself. Since it started spreading to Singapore, Hong Kong, when we started hearing news, we knew, okay, this is something that's going to go wrong. And since then, initially, it was very difficult for us also as an organization, because we were literally running an office for only cancellations. Literally for cancellations, a couple of months. And few months started, it wasn't that very positive initially. But what happened is, I was lucky enough, I would say, because when I decided I will survive and I will not close our shops, we started assisting people on evacuation slowly. We started assisting evacuation, and we did a lot. In fact, even with the Consulate of Malaysia, we had assisted on a few of the charters. I think the Consulate of Malaysia did an amazing job in South India. They did totally 38 charters, I would say. Totally, they coordinated and everything. And I was able to be a part of that as well. So all these, we were still surviving on it. And slowly what we started doing is we started sending all these images of tourist destinations to our clients with our good mornings and all, because we have to keep them also informed. That because every time when they try to look into us, they look into us as if everything is gone. The tourism industry is gone for us, definitely. There is no denial in that. But yet we can't still only talk about that and proceed with it. Our bread and butter comes out of tourism industry, and I think this factor actually made us be very proactive in the market. I think the media houses really supported us. I would really thank the media houses, because we have a very bad image of the media that only projects negative things. But we were lucky enough in Tamil Nadu specifically that a lot of media houses would actually call me and say, is there something coming up? Is there any positive news that we could print? So we would find where positivity is available, and the media houses also supported us, because the market is really good. I will tell you, we only have to see 1.3 billion people, Indians, in which crores and crores of people haven't traveled for an entire year. That's why Dubai and Maldives flights are going full. That's why so much of crowd is going. We all have to be very positive, educate ourselves. What is the latest COVID norms? What are SOPs? How we should give that positivity to the passenger. Definitely, passenger might have some kind of thinking that should we travel, is it safe and all, but we have to keep them posted, like saying that how safe is their travel going to be. For that, we have to stay in the market. We can't close our shops, we can't close our offices, wait for things to get normal and then start. Because I heard it from a 70-year-old tour operator, a travel agent, a colleague of ours, who was talking to me, saying that, Sriharan, I don't know what is the new rules. I have some 50 years of experience, but what is the new rule is there? So I only told him, sir, I think it's better we keep our offices open and keep ourselves educated. We'll use this time at least for that. Let's get educated with what are the norms, what are the other countries doing, how safe is this, how are others going. When you see flights full to Maldives, it is not like there's no business. Obviously, that says Indigo started with one flight. Now they're doing it from Cochin, from Bangalore, from Mumbai, from Delhi. They're having 4 departures. No, it is improving, and I think we are not very far from the days when borders will open. Yes, there are certain hurdles that we have to cross. I would still tell to all my friends that we are still holding our breath inside the water. It's little more time that we have to come out. Once we are out, I think we will not have time to sleep. We will not have time to even think of anything. Our work is going to be 24 hours. So I would like to inform my Malaysian partners as well that we're all getting ready for that phase, and it's not very far from now.
Amazing positivity, Sriharan. I think, as you rightly said, we all need to get ready for that big boom. I think everyone really want to get out of their houses and travel. So definitely Malaysia in their cards. As you rightly said, all the flights to Maldives and Dubai is doing excellent these days. I think
In fact, I wish to quote one thing, because recently because when we are talking about MICE, recently we did a charter flight within Tamil Nadu for a wedding group. So nowadays weddings are preferring charter flights, and I was talking to the Indigo staffs, and they are coming up with various offers for exclusively for weddings. In fact, the seats, the sheets on the seats will be printed with the bride and the groom's name. There is a welcome at the flight for exclusively for the wedding groups and all. So even the airline is coming up with various things that you could promote. I think chartering, MICE, and all is something that has a bigger opportunity. I think agents can make use of all that as well.
Right, excellent. I think, the exclusivity, what people looking for in terms of safety and everything, I think that's going to create a lot of opportunities in terms of such niche segments, right? Rightly said. So, Ganesh, if I ask you, you've been promoting Penang as a destination among your clients and even in the local market. Tell us a bit about your experience of promoting Penang, so that the people who are watching can get something out of that to even promote it in their region.
Okay. Penang been a pioneer in Malaysian tourism landscape when it started tourism way back in the 70s, when other part of the country is still focusing on other activities where tourism is nil. So Penang was the first destination in Malaysia that promoted it to the overseas market. So in the 80s and 90s, we solely focusing on beach destination, Penang as a beach destination, as well as little bit of heritage. When Langkawi came into the picture in the early 90s, so the module of promoting Penang have changed. So what we have done was we are promoting Penang more as a culture and heritage, as well as food heaven to the international market, instead of more beach destinations. So this is how Penang was promoted in the 90s. In the early 2000, the first decade of 2000, things changed a little bit slightly to where we included ecotourism into it. Like Penang have beautiful mountains, rainforests, beautiful beaches, where turtles regularly come. So this was promoted in the first decade of 2000s. So now currently for the last 10 years, what we have done is we take everything together, we put it together, and we start to promote everything together at one go. That is including the new segment, cruise. So Penang just started as a stopover port for a couple of years earlier. So now it's become a home port for certain cruise ships. So this is another segment that we are looking at. Which was promoted. In future, we are looking at more inclusiveness, sustainable tourism, and accessibility tourism, where mainly accessibility, because a lot of people who have, not the regular people are handicapped, physically challenged, especially wheelchair bound tourists. So we want to give them opportunities to come and see what Penang has to offer and how beautiful Penang is. So the focus will be shift into this all-inclusive accessibilities tourism. That is the norm, the new norm that we are looking at for international market. Of course, Penang as a destination, wedding destination, MICE destination, that is different segment altogether. But for leisure segment, these are the areas that we are looking at.
All right, that's
And also,
fantastic to know. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, just to add, because all the while Penang was promoted on the island basis as well. It's only focused on the island. But now, as a local operators, we're also looking into mainland. Penang also have a small piece of land on the mainland, but there's a lot of things to offer: homestay, agro-tourism, all. So we will include this in the coming years as a wider range of product for Penang.
Okay, amazing. I think yes. So definitely we have more to offer. More things are coming up. It's very exciting to know that there are new product ranges are been worked out, and I'm sure that it's opening up a new segment altogether. Those who want to travel and explore those segments. So Jagdeep, if I ask you, this is everyone in the industry has this speculation of when the things will get back to normal. So everyone has their own way of having opening date. So what do you see? How do you see this? What do you think about the borders, and from your observation, when this border opening going to happen, or when the market going to bounce back? When are we going to receive those numbers we used to have? So what do you think?
On the lighter note, if I'm able to answer that thing, because pandemic has failed even the biggest astrologers around the world that when things will be coming up. But we are optimistic. If you ask me, that we will start moving sometime mid of next year. Sometime mid of next year, we can see things moving around, maybe around early summer, April, May onward. But if you talk of numbers and that kind of boom, I think sometime 2022 end or 22, because see, there are so many other factors. It's not only border opening up. You need flights, you need other infrastructure, and similarly, you need to gear up with the visa issues. So it will definitely, we are hopeful that it will start moving sometime April, May next year. But when we say they are reasonably good numbers, which we can really account for in some databases and all, that will be a couple of years down the line. It's not anytime soon. The numbers, reasonable numbers. But at least the beginning is expected mid of next year, which will definitely be helpful to all the stakeholders in the industry to sustain and start opening up things again. This is what I feel. But
All right.
I don't know how other feels, but I think that much time is required, even if border opens up early. Travel may
All
start.
right.
I'll just add, travel may start. Suppose the border, the countries decide to open up borders, say in January. So travel will immediately start. But if we talk about tourism, if we talk about MICE movement or not, that will still be a few months away.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that information. How about Sriharan? What do you think, Sriharan? I mean, according to your observation.
4C. 4C before 2 days back, it was very near. The 4C in date was very near until B117. B117 has created again a little gap of foreseeing when travel will become normal. But you should understand, as we come from a very conservative state. Uh, According to us, you dated back 100 years back. Traveling from one town to another town also was very difficult. People used to call them jobless. Why are you traveling? That's how it was. It was very conservative, and it took time for us to start traveling, to understand travel is for leisure. So I think we are little moved back to that age again. If you're thinking it's traveling to another place is dangerous, I think this mind state has to change. Even things coming back to normal, I think this mind state has to change. But I still vouch on the youngsters. The youngsters who are looking for. We've done a survey with the college students where we have interns and they've been going around doing surveys where it was very surprising for us to note that all the youngsters are waiting to travel when the fares are low, when it is very cheap to travel. There is a crowd that is wanting to travel first time, the first time in flight, first time for an international destination. They still believe that travel will become cheaper immediately when things open. I think that is the first market that we have to look into. The youngsters market that we have to look into. Second is, for my surprise, I will tell you, we had a YouTube advertisement last year for a group departure that was happening this year in January. It was a travel with a celebrity kind of a concept for a cruise, where Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, they go and come back. And for my surprise, even we started getting queries in June, July during 2021 for that, because that video again popped up on the trending list and all, and we started getting queries also. I think people want to travel, but still there is that skepticism in them. I think rate is going to play a major role here. All my friends from Malaysia or even the Convention Bureau, the Malaysian tourism has, they have to get in place this, because rates will definitely open the market. And once the market is open, when I say conservative, we will wait for someone to jump into the well so that we can jump into the well. That's how we all are. So we want people to start traveling, coming back. We want to understand their feedbacks, and slowly the movement will start. So I think rates are going to play a major role. I think the governments, in terms of taxes, I think usually Malaysian government has, Malaysia as a destination itself has a great rate factor. I think airline also, for Malaysia as a destination for a 3-night, 4-day journey, I think the airline cost is more than the flight cost usually. That's how factors are. I think if airline also can think of doing that for the initial push, I think I foresee it mid of 2021. Getting back to 50% of normal, and I think by the end of the year we are all normal. I think people will get used to all this, and I think vaccines are coming out. People are, the government themselves are trusting vaccines so much. So I think things will come back to normal by the end of 2021.
Well, thank you so much for that sharing, Sriharan. I think rightly said, everyone is predicting the same response. So how about Ganesh? What do you think about the reopening and the bouncing back?
I actually echo with Sriharan, sorry. But again, it will be a new norm of travel. It won't be same as pre-COVID, because there's a lot of SOPs will be in place, especially on the safety and healthy aspect, which also is going to incur costs, additional costs. It's not by the travel or tour operators, by I believe it's by the government, at least for the first 2 quarters or 3 quarters after the border is open. They will be strictly following on all these safety protocols, like the swab test and all these things, which will increase the cost of the package. It's not a cost package per se, but because of this additional medical SOPs need to be incorporated into it, so it definitely will increase the cost for any destination, not only Malaysia, it's any destination. So I believe the first wave of travelers, apart from the corporate travel, with the family travel, it's people who have the fluence is the one who's going to travel. Because the middle lower bracket, which very, very price sensitive, they will have a wait and say attitude. Let's see what's going to happen next 6 to 10 months down the road. So they are, by hoping that all these SOPs will be removed, so then the price will be more or less stabilized. So for the at least first 2 quarters or 3 quarters, I reckon the price will be on the high side. So
All right.
So it will translate more affluent travelers rather than numbers. This is what I
Right.
think of. And
Rightly
some
said,
markets,
Ganesh. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Even from our previous couple of engagements, what we could realize that there are two things which is going to take a key role in border reopening. One is the quarantine. The time frame. How many days of quarantine? Is it 7 days, or 10 days, or 14 days? And also the cost of quarantine. And at the same time, if there are many countries who are planning to offer travel insurance. If we have the mechanism of offering a travel insurance, I think the reopening will be much faster, the rebound will be much faster, because people have the confidence. Even if they get sick, they don't need to spend money. The insurance is covered. Even if it's a 7 days or 10 days kind of. So I think those things. I'm sure that all of us, even our authorities, are thinking on implementing these things. Definitely going to boost the rebound. Right. So let me let me ask Jagdeep. Okay. So now we are actually moving towards our end of the session. Right. We are running out of time. So any final summarize? I mean, you want to summarize your activities? Any thoughts to share, Jagdeep?
See, the final thing is that be ready. That's the only thing I can convey to my colleagues in the industry, that we can't have more time to lay back and just wait. We need to be ready. We need to educate ourselves in the industry, as Mr. Balan rightly said, because a lot of confusion is prevailing in the mindset of the customers and even some of our industry colleagues as well, because they had been in a trend that they were not updating and educating themselves, and today is the time when we need all that real time information to be transmitted amongst our workforce and our customer base, because every day anything can go the other side of the instructions, like UK thing and all. You get very short notice to implement those things. So unless until you are very well aware of what kind of rules, what kind of SOPs are applicable for those countries, those airlines, even different airlines have different protocols. Same destination, like Dubai, if I tell you, Emirates was following some different SOPs, Air India was following some different SOPs, some are allowing travel. So those kind of things we need to be keep ourselves updated in real time. Then only we'll be able to launch us whenever things open up fast. So the key is to keep ourselves updated with all the relevant information.
Thank you so much, Jagdeep, for your time, and indeed, I mean, it was fantastic to have you, and we really hope.
Pleasure is all mine, Prashant. It was nice for you to have conducted, and I think this is the right time when we should be talking more of this rather than talking this
Right.
3 months earlier. This is the right time, and as I told you, that PCEB is always taking that lead. and once things are open up, all those destinations which will be taking this kind of lead will definitely gain. They will have an edge to the other competition within the region.
Right. Thank you so much, and see you again soon, Jagdeep. Thank you. All right, so let's ask Sriharan. What is your thoughts on parting thoughts? Let's say.
Parting thoughts. Yeah. See, basically, for me, travel is a therapy. That's what I tell all my friends also, and a lot of my clients, because I have, few of the high-end clients would call me and say, Sriharan, I want to go somewhere, no phones, somewhere very beautiful, and all these things, because travel has always been a therapy. And I think this COVID situation has put us all in a lot of stress. We're all locked up inside our homes, like, you shouldn't say it on an open forum, like animals, you can say. It's a very sad state. We're all locked inside. Earlier we thought, okay, it's going to be a good time with family, but it added on to the pressure when everybody are in the same shelter for a very, very long time. The kids are here, the office, the people working from home are all inside. So it's adding on to the pressure. I think it's high time people have to understand that travel is the best way they could vent out all this. Definitely, I could see, I've attended few weddings and all in Chennai. It is more scarier than traveling, I should say, frankly talking, because so much of crowd, nobody were wearing mask, and, the food was served, nobody washed their hands before having food and all. It was more scarier, but when someone comes to me and says, is travel safe? I would only laugh. I'll say travel is much safe. We are only taking you to a destination which is much safer. You're already in the red hot zone. So I think people have to understand how important traveling is now, because you can earn money, but once you lose your mental health, I think with so much of money, nothing can be, it cannot help you. Because recently we had a psychological doctor's family traveling to Kashmir, and he was telling me after he came back, he started suggesting his clients to us. I mean, his patients to us, saying, you have to take a trip. It will make a lot of difference and all. So I think people have to understand the importance of travel. It's not a danger. You're not taking a chance. You're only giving a break for yourself. I think that is very important. And make sure you choose the right person. You travel safe. Again, when it comes to travel, a lot of people give negative remarks and all. It's up to their choice, I would say. Choose the right thing, choose the right place, because there are a lot of resorts that's coming up. There's a lot of, I could see a lot of new videos, a lot of products that's been with so much of SOPs in place. I think, as Ganesh sir rightly said, there are a few things that you should not mind spending for, because you're going for yourself. It's not for someone else. So I think these things will definitely make a lot of difference. And I really thank Prashant for this opportunity. It was so nice to meet you after a very, very long time, and meet Ganesh sir and everybody. So it was very nice of you to do this. Please continue doing this. Spread a lot of positivity. I think this positivity is very important rather than the COVID positivity. I think please do keep up your good work, Prashant. All the best.
Thank you so much, Sriharan. I think it is indeed, it's very insightful, and we actually got a lot of positivity from you. I think it's the right way, as you said. I think it's that's how it is. If you are moving from a more infected to a less infected destination, I think you don't need to worry. You are actually going to the right place with more safety. So I think indeed it's fantastic to have you, Sriharan. I think we're going to see you during the virtual B2B roadshow, right? And we also will have you back with more insightful discussions like this. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful time ahead. All right. Thank you, Sriharan.
Thank you all. Thank you.
All right. All right. So yes. So Ganesh, what is your thoughts and any messages you have?
Well, the key to for successful 2021 is our local industry players have to be prepared and ready when the market is going to open. It's not when the government announced that's the time you scramble and go and get ready your products. So as market will respond with a very short notice, like how Dubai and Mauritius have translated and benefiting from the actions, we, from the Malaysian operators' perspective, we should be ready. Our tourism boards in India, especially the three main stations, South India, which lead by our Mr. Razali, is doing excellent job in the South Indian circuit, as well as the northern side, Mr. Sulaiman, which is also doing excellent job, and in the Mumbai area. So basically, all the three stations are doing excellent job. But to support them and to bring in the numbers, we, the local, our Malaysian local operators have to be ready, and not only the operators, as well as the product owners, we need to be ready to receive. And I believe, despite of all the additional costs on for the medical side of traveling and all that, at least first 2-3 quarters, I still believe the numbers will come. It will come in the big numbers. So we need to be ready. So the key word here is prepared, be ready, and hope for the best. And we will succeed. I mean, we have gone through a tough time for the last 10 months. So I believe we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm very positive, and I believe my colleagues in the local tour operators also believe the same, share my same thoughts. So thank you for the opportunity, Prashant, and thank you for PCEB as well as Travel Industry Network Chat Media for this opportunity given to me, and also to give the insight what the local industries are preparing and doing, and what we are anticipating. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. I think it's a fantastic message for those who are watching and also those who are going to watch later. I think it's amazing positivity. We need to stay updated, and we need to be ready for the upcoming exciting times. I'm sure that the travelers are getting ready to travel, and the operators also should ready to receive them. So I think that's a fantastic message, because what we could realize that this is the right time for all of us to have that check and balance. What went wrong when you were operating full-fledged, what were not right, and now you have the enough time to basically sit and understand the model. If you want to change the model, what has to be implemented in order to get things going when things come back. So I think it's the right time, and I'm hoping that everyone is utilizing it in the right way, so that we can all have a better future in the industry. So thank you so much, Mr. Ganesh, for giving your time. Right, fantastic session. I think we will look for you more often for such sharings. Right, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, Ganesh. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I think it was a fantastic session. I believe today's session was informative to all of you. Please keep posting your questions if you have any more. We still find answers from the right people. So please visit penangroadshow.com. I think those who want to participate in the virtual roadshow, please don't forget to visit the penangroadshow.com website to register yourself, so that you can actually become a part of the show. And you can also, whether you are a buyer or a seller, I think it's important to get connected to such a huge chunk of agents. You have people, MICE operators, tour operators, travel agents, all across India. This is going to happen in 4 sessions, 4 city-wise, zone-wise. So definitely you are going to get to see a lot of them face to face, and also you also have an opportunity to fix appointments according to your schedule, so that you can discuss about what product you want to pitch it to for the Indian market, because many of you may not be doing Indian market, right? So it is the right time for you to understand the requirement of the market, to mold your product based on Indian market, so that when things come back, you have something to offer to Indian market. As I mentioned earlier, I think with the current market situation in tourism industry, it is always good to go global. You make sure that all your products, earlier we could be depending on single markets because those markets were larger, bigger. So now the markets are shrunk. So I think it's always you need to have a product which can be consumed by multiple nationalities, multiple cultural background and all that. So you need to make sure that you have that ready so that you can target multiple segments and gain the same kind of momentum you had previously. So thank you so much, guys, for joining today's session. We will definitely going to come back with more such forums during that virtual B2B show. So I would look forward to see you again soon. And it was fantastic to have all of you and participating here today live. So I wish everyone, yes, it's almost a New Year and a Christmas. So wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We hope we all will have a COVID-free New Year 2021. So till then, thank you and goodbye.